The final little chunks of Resident Evil 7 DLC hit. This is the, what was it? End of Zoe. This is footage of End of Zoe, which is included on the season pass. I think it was $9 or $15. I don't know. But as a brief aside, this has to be one of the worst season passes I ever bought, just because the bulk of it is not that good. Thankfully, this End of Zoe DLC is the best part of that season pass. I would just recommend, I don't know, you get it all on sale or you just buy this. But the other piece is free, and that is Not a Hero with Chris Redfield, who looks nothing like Chris Redfield. He's part of Umbrella, which is some kind of organization now that is some of the members from Umbrella that are trying to rectify the wrongs they made. And you know what? That's cool. And I'm a big Resident Evil idiot nerd, and I loved 6, even though no one else did. I love 5, I love 4, I love 3, I love 2, I love Resident Evil. And this game, in the main campaign, has barely anything to do with the main mess of a plotline, which I enjoy how stupid it is, right? And this DLC, even though it stars Chris, not the one that's being shown right here, even though it involves Chris, and Umbrella, new Umbrella, and it mentions something about the BSAA not doing something correctly, it doesn't fit in. It doesn't even try to be like, oh, this is what's been going on with the story. I was expecting some reveal at the end to show Ada or to show anyone, and it just didn't. And to that end, it is disappointing that there is no story wrap-up tie-in at all besides Chris just being there. It's almost, it is the reboot. Like, they should have just rebooted everything because it still would fit. It still would fit as a reboot because as Chris looks different, Umbrella's weird and different. I'm just going to think of it as a reboot because it does nothing to advance the plot, which admittedly is garbage and a mess, but it doesn't. It doesn't do anything to further it from any of the games. And even like a end stinger thing that's like, oh, here's Ada, here's Wesker again. I don't know how that happened. Like, it's a clone. Nothing even like that. So to that, I'm a smidge disappointed. But putting that aside, Not a Hero and End of Zoe are both pretty damn great overall. There are moments in both that I think kind of suffer. And we'll talk about the Not a Hero free DLC first. So you're Chris and you're in the mines. And I think the worst aspect of this DLC is that you're in the mines, which are the least interesting to me location. And we'll get into that more with the End of Zoe DLC, which takes place in a swamp, which is also the least interesting place to be. So you're in the mines and you're going through, and it kind of has these, you can choose your own way, but you go this way and it's like, oh, you need night vision goggles. Like, okay, I won't go that way. Oh, this area is all filled with poison. You can't go that way. All right, fine. So you go this other way, and there's this monster you can't beat, so you run away from it. And then you eventually get ammo that can beat the super monsters, and that's all cool. And then you get the night vision, and then you get the poison aspirator to reverse that. That's all fun, and I really enjoyed that. I liked seeing every aspect of it. I liked fighting the monsters still. The core gameplay of Resident Evil 7 is fantastic, and that is on full display here, and they do a really good job at it. I think it's a little short. I know it's free DLC. Not a Hero is about 2 hours long. I don't know if that includes how many times I died against the final boss, so let's say 2.5 hours? Because I did die against the final boss a couple times. But other than that, it was a fun ride. It does tie up the whole Baker family thing. It introduces another shadow organization that, again, has nothing to do with any plot, doesn't make any sense, and seems to be setting up... You know how cliffhangers will obviously be there to set up another movie? This is stuff that's obviously in there to set up another game, but it does it in such an uninteresting way. I don't even know who's it's setting it up for. Like, well, what are you setting this up for? For like, I'm a big fan, so obviously I'm gonna play the next game, and obviously that's why I'm playing the new DLC that's free. But if you're not a big fan, this just is like a bunch of nonsense. So who is this for? And like, people who aren't big fans need to, they need the next thing. Oh, what's going on here? And I'm like, I don't know what you get from it. This is okay. So for Delphox's cousin, Resident Evil 7 is a fantastic place to start, especially since the story stuff is totally toned down. But more specifically about the DLC, it's just not, it doesn't culminate in anything. It doesn't add anything too super new. There are a few new weapons, but I mean, come on. It's a pistol. It's a shotgun. How different is it, really? And as good as this DLC, or even as the End of Zoe is, which is what's on screen with the punching, as good as those are, man, the main campaign of Resident Evil 7 is so phenomenal. It has those scary moments. It has you being hunted by these people in the house and not knowing what's going on, and solving these puzzles, of which I don't think there were any puzzles that I did. I don't think so. Like figuring out your inventory, like what does this go over here? If I take that over there and I put the idol on the whatever. This DLC doesn't have that, and we'll just get to it right now. The biggest problem with all of this DLC, whether it's the Not a Hero free one or the End of Zoe Season Pass paid one, is that they take place in the least interesting places. The best part of Resident Evil 7 to me, and to a lot of people I think, is the house. Is being in that large house, opening the doors. It's being in that familiar environment. That, like, this could be your house. This could be Delphox's cousin house, right? It's not. Well, it could be. Are you in Louisiana? No. It's being in that house. It could be anyone you know's house. And like, something happened here. What the hell's going on? There's monsters now. You're looking through cabinets and finding weird garbage and reading notes that the family left. And like, they're hunting me. I don't know what to do. And like, this is awesome, intense stuff. And then all the DLC just doesn't take place there. Like, the biggest thing I want from another Resident Evil game that's in this style is for it to take place in a mansion. Just remake Resident Evil 1 in this idea, this first person idea, because that's incredible. We don't need to go to the swamp or the mines because they're so boring and uninteresting. Who do you want to be? Look at this swamp. It's just a bunch of mud everywhere. And then the mines are also just a bunch of mud everywhere. It's not, no. We want to be in Delphox's cousin's house after they've eaten some crazy zombie virus and we're trying to survive. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. And I think it's tough to be like, oh, this DLC's terrible because it doesn't take place where I want it to take place. But I don't know a single person who would say, oh, my favorite part of Resident Evil is when you're in the swamp. Who would say that? It's like, that's a crazy person. They might say the police station, and I'll give you that. Okay? I'll give you the streets of Raccoon City when they're all on fire and there's a downed car and there's zombies there. I'll give you that, but not the mines. I'll give you the lab. There's a good moment in the Chris campaign here at the end where you're in a lab and it's like 3 rooms and it's like, this is really cool. All the Resident Evil games always end in the lab. Oh, I love seeing labs. And the lab's over. Damn it. We're so close to just getting a cool freaking lab. And that's what I want to see. That's what the next Resident Evil game needs to be for me, is just stick to the script of a mansion, of a house, of these places you might see every day, even if it's like an apartment building or whatever. That's what makes it interesting. That's what made stuff like Dead Island interesting to me. Like, oh, this is a vacation town. Like, oh, this is a gas station. I know this. As opposed to, as much as I like it, Dead Space. Like, well, I've never been to a space station. I've never been to a space station to like mine some weird garbage on an asteroid. So that's not relatable. But I've been to a house once or twice, really digging the knife into the swamp thing. And the swamp sucks. And this is the End of Zoe. You can't see my hand. My arm got chopped off. DLC, and it all takes place in a swamp, and you play as what's his name's brother. I don't remember anyone's name. His name is Joe, though. But the other guy's name, Jack? I don't even know if his name is Joe. Doesn't matter. So Jack's there, or Joe's there, someone's there, fighting to save Zoe. Now this is technically not even canon. Cousin says hi. Tell him to make sure his house isn't a zombie infested place that's in the next Resident Evil. Just double check. It's unlikely, just double check. And you're saving Zoe, or you're kind of saving. I mean, there's monsters. Clearly, there's monsters. And I like what this DLC does to whom? Oh, it's probably to you, Delphi, or to Will. Yeah, that's probably true. But you're only punching. So you do get like sticks to throw. I'm already invested because I'm here. Oh, that's true. That's unfortunate. That's real unfortunate. So you get sticks to throw. And this is why I think this piece of DLC is secretly almost better than the Chris one, is it has what the main game had of, okay, do I need to make a healing item, or do I use that same material to craft a bomb that can be used to take out this enemy, right? And punching all these guys is fun. It does work mostly. Throwing the sticks at crazy alligators that are hunting you is fun. I did really enjoy that. I like where this goes. I was surprised at kind of how long it was. This DLC is also about 2 hours long. It has more impactful moments, I think, than the free Chris DLC, even though that's the one that's like, oh, it's Chris, so watch out, it's Chris, he's back. This is just as good and better in a different way. It has that, there's a couple moments towards the middle end-ish that reminded me of Resident Evil 5 or 4 even to a lesser extent, where you're just surviving. You have this limited equipment with you. I mean, the Chris one, I had shotgun the entire time. I wasn't really too worried about anything that was going on. It ended with a big boss encounter, and this one ends with like a goofy boss encounter that's meant... Who's Chris exactly? Chris Redfield. Get with the program. It's been in like all the games except for half of them. Could I name all the games? Doesn't matter. And I think it ends in a super fun way with like you're punching this guy, Jack, a bunch of times in a fun manner that fits what this is going on. I really like the end of Zoe as a weird side story offshoot. You just punching things like these weird goopy monsters. You're punching them in the face. It introduces a couple new enemies there too in this DLC that you have to punch. And it's dumb. It's really dumb that you're just punching them, but that's what makes it fun. And having the new, like, making a stick to throw, this almost felt to me like a testing ground for what the next one could be, because there's a lot of elements in this that I would like to see, kind of a stronger emphasis on taking things slowly, having to go through literally alligator infested waters and deal with that situation in a smart way. Like, you're walking over the swamp and you could fall in and have to, like, okay, I gotta throw this spear at this alligator to kill it, or otherwise, or I gotta get out quickly, or I can stay up there and try and get through it and not get knocked off, and you're punching all these things. It mostly works pretty well with the punching. That's a ton of fun. I think they should be applauded for it, and this is clearly the season pass for this game. Is to say it's a mixed bag. Like, this is the mixedest bag of all bags, because there is some terrible stuff in this season pass, just awful. It'd be just horrifically bad, and even the high points before this, it was like a 25-minute portion where Zoe tried to escape, a non-canon thing, where Zoe tries to escape the mansion, or the house. Not a mansion, it's 2 stories. It's big, but not a mansion. The ranch house. Tries to escape the ranch house. That was the best part of it before, and like the rest of it was kind of a mess and really unnecessary. And it's nice to see that this final bit that we didn't even know we were going to get is better than anything we got. I think stands toe-to-toe with the Not a Hero Chris DLC. Don't ask who Chris is again. Well, and that's great to see. I love Love Resident Evil 7, and it's nice to have this little reminder for some people since it came out in January. Like, hey, when you're thinking of games you played this year, remember Resident Evil 7, and remember that it was excellent. Forget about the DLC. Just play this new DLC. Don't play the garbage. I almost would even say you don't need to play the DLC. The main game is so much better than anything you're getting in any of these. The DLC is just nice for super fans / idiots like me who want the little extra tidbit of there's Chris here and there's Chris there and there's also Chris. And there's Umbrella and Chris is with Umbrella. Did I mention Chris? Will, let me know. And like mechanical things too that I think are fun to see as someone who's interested in these games in a much more in-depth way than a lot of people that are just playing it for fun. Now, I will also say, not scary, not very scary. There was one jump scare in this. There was maybe one jump scare in the other Chris one. It's not, but people are saying this game's really scary. And I'm apparently immune to scary things in games. I don't know how. I don't know how that happened. It certainly isn't true. Will, you saw me stream Emily is Away. Or Emily Wants to Play. Yeah, Emily Wants to Play. And that's scary. But this is fine. You're punching a thing and then you're punching it. I don't know. You can stomp down. Is there any Chris Swamp crossover? Oh, is there? Is there? No. There's at the end of this DLC, there's a brief Resident Evil / ET crossover. That was / Mega Man. Or not Mega Man. Punchy Man. I don't know. Someone who punches. But it wouldn't be with Chris though. Chris in the Swamp. No, it's just the mines. I still remember that Emma was a play stream. It's a scary game. I have that somewhere. I don't know where I have it, but man, the swamp is terrible. Like the swamp is just god awful. You have to admit that. The swamp is terrible. No one wants to play in the swamp. You can't see anything. Okay. It is redeeming. Oh, then the game does this stupid thing where it's like, oh, there's a graveyard and then you're going to go to a church. I'm like, really cool. Oh, I get to go to a spooky church and it's one room and a cutscene and then you wake up in a swamp again. Little cock teased church over there. So I think I want to forget everything about that Emily Wants to Play stream, by the way. It's just the scenery. The location of where you are is the worst part of this DLC to me. And I think that means it's pretty damn good. Except for fights like this that seem unwinnable. And this stupid monster man is constantly here punching me in the face. And I forgot you can block. It helps if you remember you can block. Because you can. So do. Alright? That's just pro tip. This is cool. Let's play it scary. Yeah, it is scary. Cocktease Church is my favorite punk band. I had to allow that comment. Because the chat was like, do you really want that in there? I'm like, hell yeah, I want the Cocktease Church in my chat. I'm all about that Cocktease Church. I think I died here. Did I die here? Oh yeah, you're grabbing grubs and that's the thing that this DLC does better than the Chris one. It has the combining aspect, man. That's what I wanted. I'm eating crawfish and weird shit off the ground, making first aid medicine, throwing spears at things. It's a good time. I'm gonna wait for this reveal right here. It's pretty good. Spooky monster. Pretty cool. Alright, that's the show. Not the Emily Wants to Play show. Good lord. No. Never again. Thanks for hanging out. Merry Christmas. This show is every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. I think that's how time works. Every day I try and look at my clock and remember what's Pacific time. Every other week I look it up. Even though time hasn't changed, I look it up. Just gotta make sure. Has time changed? Maybe. twitch.tv/thegamefanatics. On my channel, Ben React, I will be doing, I'm going to do Metroid Prime 3 tomorrow. And then Monday might be Persona, but it also might be, what was the other game I wanted to play? Let me know, Delphox. I might do Life is Strange, the Before the Storm. I might see what that is. Merry Halloween, yes. Gingerbread being eaten by a reindeer and a tree rocket. Is there a tree rocket? I don't understand the tree rocket. Anyway, thank you. What the hell is that? Sure do that. Well, I know you liked Life is Strange. That's why I'm saying that. What is the snowman? Why are there all these weird... Alright, I'm done. You're freaking me out with all your little emotes. I'm done. Oh, right here I get to throw a... But you gotta watch me kill the alligator, though. Look at this. Come on, alligator. Wait for it. Oh. That's a highlight. It's a big highlight.